Disclaimer, this is a topic that goes way deeper than the depth I'm diving into in this video. This video is not a breakdown of Atlanta gang politics. In this video, my plan is to take an overall look at Lil Rae's life and legacy, commenting on what I feel could let him into getting involved in street politics, and explaining how I feel Lil Rae might be the smoothest sounding artist to come up out of Atlanta drill, while at the same time being one of the main crash dummies making Wicked West so wicked. Thanks! I hope you enjoy. Rae Mosley, better known by his stage name, Lil Rae, is a popular Atlanta drill artist who came up and made his name in the scene off his unique and laid-back cadence and flow, mixed with his crash-dummy gang antics outside of the music. And given how complicated the West Side Atlanta gang politics can be, it's kind of amazing how flippant and jovial he is about dissing motherfuckers. This is the story of Atlanta's smoothest crash dummy, Lil Rae. Originally born on March 22nd, 2004, a young Lil Rae would spend the majority of his early childhood and life on the west side of Atlanta. And while we know very little about his family life, given he's from the west, we can assume growing up he wasn't in the most financially stable of areas. This added on to the fact that Rae is currently a YC/4E member, and he used to be cool with some of the 952 Kill for Caden crew, points to the fact that Lil Rae became a product of the criminal elements that surrounded him at a very early age, and arguably, he adapted to it very well. I've seen a plethora of comments on both YouTube videos and on Reddit claiming that Lil Rae and his crew YC are specifically the reason that the West is so fractured on a gang politics level, considering that both apparently ran off with the money of a few Atlanta drill artists, as well as arguably being one of the more consistent artists to diss rival crews and deads on songs. This did make Rae's music a lot more popular, but it had a side effect of causing many in the scene to outright diss and go after bro. This is not even getting into the legal trouble that bro stays in. I'm getting a little ahead of myself though. Lil Rae would make it most of the way through high school, though in 2020, around the same time that COVID hit and Georgia schools switched over to online classes, Lil Rae would go on to silently drop out, not even getting his GED. I graduated the year of COVID, so this motherfucker dropped out as a sophomore in 10th grade given his age, coincidentally being around the same time that Atlanta drill scene began to bubble and form. We don't know exactly when Lil Rae began to gain an interest in making music, though as early as 2020, he began to release singles. Examples of the earliest track that I could find being the song Free the Bros, featuring Lil Mari and Lil Tay. Originally taking notes from artists like Lil Baby with his beat selection, as well as the fact that they're using a similar auto-tune effect and flows. Given that this was his first track, it's extremely good. If that sound wasn't so oversaturated, it'd go crazy. Seemingly, the whole of YC is talented when it comes to making music, as fellow artist and gang affiliate Lil Drapo would often feature with him on music, and both of them would come up around the same time. Rae only really get more popular in my opinion because Drapo drops way too much fucking music. That's a rant for another time though. On May 15th, 2021, Lil Rae would go on to put out his very first music video, that's still up anyway, titled Block Babies, featuring Lil Drapo. This song would be more of the Lil Baby style of rapping, which Rae isn't as good at as Drapo, but nonetheless, the song is pretty good, though it would only ever get 5,000 views. For a first song or first music video, that's not bad at all, I'm not gonna lie. One could argue that Lil Rae wouldn't even come into his main style until the July 8th, 2022 release of the Meet Diablo EP. This EP being the first time that Rae would stray away from the auto-tune Atlanta template and switch over to his smooth-ass voice and cadence. This tactic playing off pretty quickly as Diablo, the intro for this EP, is sitting strong at a nice 343,000 views, with the track directly after it getting 586,000 views. This was the beginning of Lil Rae taking over the Atlanta drill convo, especially with how great his beats mesh with his vocal performance. He goes like fast beats with smooth vocals, it's really nice. Given how extensive Rae's music catalog is, mixed with the fact that bro's only really been rapping for 3 years, combines to show you that Lil Rae has a genuine passion for music, and this shows with how consistently great his music becomes. As an example of that, the great album/EP from this year of 2022, in no specific order, would be All Alone, Meet Diablo 1 and 2, as well as For My Fans. The Meet Diablo EPs being my personal favorite from around this era, though all All Alone is a close second, it's still pretty good. 2023 would be the year that Lil Rae would go up in popularity the most, and this is for a couple of different reasons. The first being features. While up until this point, Rae had done a plethora of features, most of the artists he did music with was motherfuckers he grew up with and who were in the same crew as him. Starting with My Dad's Son EP in 2023, Rae would also begin to do features with other artists like Rakim out of Augusta, Georgia, as well as doing more tracks with other motherfuckers from the scene. The second reason for Lil Rae's rise in popularity is the fact that bro began to diss way more consistently, saying way harsher shit, which inadvertently correlates to the third reason his music would go up. On May 28th, 2023, outside of the Benjamin E. Mays High School, Lil Rae and a couple of his friends would get into an altercation with who I assumed to be his opposition, when shots would ring out, hitting two 16-year-old girls. One of the girls, Breasia Powell, would eventually pass away from her injuries. Rest in paradise to her. The following month, 3 people would be picked up for this shooting, one of course being Lil Rae himself. As bad as this is gonna sound, Lil Rae probably wouldn't have even got as popular as he became if his arrest did not happen. Because of the fact he wasn't the shooter in this situation, he'd end up being let out of jail pretty quickly and would be placed on house arrest a few months after. It would be around this same time he'd go about releasing his most viewed music video to this day, the October 17th, 2023 track, First Day Out. Now you might have to excuse me for a moment because I'm about to sound fan the fuck out when I say this, but besides Rakim, this is the best song to ever come out of the Atlanta drill scene, in my humble opinion. The instrumental being smooth and ambient while at the same time having a pretty active drum pattern, making it extremely catchy. Add that on to Lil Rae's smooth and almost disinterested flow, with the drums cutting in and out every now and then. Bro, this shit is perfect. I think I've bumped this song every single day since it dropped. Glazing aside, this video would get a nice 1.4 million views, and would be Lil Rae's most popular video so far. The only other song that even competes with this track would be the song Fuck Everybody, and that track dropped a little bit before. If that put him on, then the First Day Out solidified his spot on me. But because Lil Rae deleted a lot of his music videos for some unknown fucking reason around this time, it's hard to say which tracks were super popular comparatively. But around this time, tracks like Westside Demon, Oh My God Part 2, and In the Woods would drop. In the Woods being the only track that isn't a re-upload, so we can actually see that it got 900,000 views. I'm going to assume the other tracks were in a similar view range, from like 100,000 to 900,000 before he deleted them, but I can't be 100% sure, so I mean, take my word for it, I guess. The latest music video that Rae would go on to drop on YouTube would be the March 16th, 2025 track, Chanel Pearls. This song sounds like a really nice, beautiful track, missing the vocals with an experimental drum pattern. While this track ain't my favorite of his, I do go back to it decently often. Something about bro's flow is so addictive. No diddy. Since that drop, Lil Rae has gone on to drop the 2025 album, The President, which I've been bumping a decent bit this past month. Both his mix and masters are improving a lot, and if he can stay his crash dummy self out of the legal trouble, I'm willing to bet bro can build a giant cult following, especially given how quality the music he puts out. While everyone was on that fake aggressive shit like Baby Kia or Anti the Menace, Lil Rae was the only one to pull up on these beats smooth and just kill shit. Out of all the artists I've covered so far on this channel, Lil Rae and Rakim are my favorites. Definitely go fuck with them. If you like this video, be sure to like, comment who y'all trying to see next, and subscribe with the bell to be notified of all my future uploads. Next week will be a video on Lil Loaded, most likely. Not Lil Loaded from Atlanta, but Lil Loaded from Dallas. If this video does very well though, I'm gonna pivot into ATL drill for a while, for the next few artists at least. Of course I'm gonna catch up on y'all's requests as well, but I kinda wanna switch things up a little bit, you know, doing one scene for too long gets a bit boring. Remember, at 1.5 thousand subs, I'm gonna do a face reveal, if y'all even want that. But with all that out the way, I appreciate each and every one of y'all. Peace out. Chill out.
Fight for the future.
I'm doing my part.
I'm doing my part.
I'm doing my part.
I'm doing my part too.
They're doing their part.